Why? Because we all hope for something that little bit different.
It's going to be fascinating, isn't it? Alan Rolland, all the controversy about the 4 yellow cards against England, all the debate about the aggression of the Southern Hemisphere at the breakdown. Well, now the 3 world-leading teams are going to compete at that breakdown. How will Chris White interpret it? Let's hope it is a really constructive game, and let's hope Chris White lets this one flow. It could be special.
This the Barbarians' 25th game against a major Southern Hemisphere power since that 1948 match against the Australian tourists, that Olympic year. An Olympic rugby centenary being celebrated tonight.
Stay back, lads.
Everything looks magnificent. Let's hope for a game that is just as magnificent as the surroundings, but that is not a magnificent start from the fly half tonight for the Barbarians. Only mistake from Francois Steyn. Out on the full, we'll have a scrum back on halfway.
It's not an unusual mistake for Steyn. He's a real adrenaline fly half. He's got great power in that right boot. He struck the ball beautifully, but too far for Bryan Habana. And a first attacking position for Australia. Let's hope all these scrums are attacked and not the collapse we've seen too often. Expected too much.
Make sure the second row's lads, you're binding on the lock, not on the second row.
Always one of the issues for the Barbarians, gathering on Sunday and trying to get their set piece by the scrum or line out and the calls at that line out sorted out, so everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. Sheehan there, Brett Sheehan, the scrum half, putting it more towards the second row than the front row. O'Connor getting himself into the match early on, coming up from full-back. He played against Italy on this tour. He became the second youngest Wallaby of all time. Turnover ball, chance for the Barbarians to let it rip for the first time. Steyn and his South African colleagues, Dupria and Montgomery. Percy Montgomery, now retired from the international game for South Africa, goes long with that kick. It's fielded by O'Connor. Here's Digby Ione, scored right at the end of Saturday's match in Cardiff. Wasn't quite enough though. Montgomery again. This will be Lottie Takiri's back after that knee surgery. And that's a beautiful kick.
Will be very frustrated. Lottie Takiri travelled with Australia and has watched his team develop as a side before losing in Cardiff. Very mature player. There will be a lot of counter-attacking, but Takiri has really developed as a union player. There is the first steal of the game, and George Smith was involved, and then it's turnover there. Smith was the man, and then Steyn takes it on.
Smith throws, and McCaw and Smith at the tail play a little tennis between each other. Rico Gear tries to get it moving out wide, and it goes to Habana. Habana running at Australia. Good tackle from Adam Ashley Cooper. He's in the centre tonight. Been playing at full-back on this tour, of course. That's gone loose, and it's gone forward as well.
That was worrying for Australia and encouraging for the Barbarians. Going from their own 22, Bryan Habana decided not to try and go outside the wide men there. Ball under the right arm. Brown, so often an open side for the force, does very well. The number 8 is quick, but they will not want to give Bryan Habana 15 metres on the outside too often. A little bit surprised he didn't straighten and then go on the outside there.
No, Australia, it has to be with the lock.
Let's try against England at the end of the South African tour. His 32nd in international rugby for 46 caps. He's been rooming with Shane Williams this week.
Right, good.
Richie McCaw has been rooming with John Smith.
Habana and Williams didn't have a battle in South Africa and Wales in the summer and this year. 2 fine players.
And there is Habana. Interesting race to the toilet in the room.
No, move, let's move. Stay up, boys, and move.
And the players die at Miles. There's no need to rush for the toilet. The curry days are over. Good ball again for the Barbarians.
Prep, Steyn. This is John de Villiers.
He's a very fine player, John de Villiers. He just gets isolated there. Holding on.
There's a full penalty. John de Villiers, he scored against Wales on the tour, didn't he? And also impressed in that inside centre role. He's right up there, and interestingly, Dowie's suggesting that part of the World 15.
Well, I just think one of the achievements of South Africa's World Cup was to lose that man, de Villiers. He's a key part of that team. Steyn fitted in and did a brilliant job, but de Villiers is the man around so much revolves in the midfield there.
Here's Sheehan, Smith, Ryan Cross, the former rugby leaguer. Back from illness, he missed the game in Paris. Australia's victory there. tackling there by Jerry Collins, now with Toulon in France.
Australia release! Australia release!
Exponstable as well. Famously wore those socks for the Barbarians. Oh, another turnover ball here for the men in white and black. There's young O'Connor.
That's not the greatest kick.
De Villiers throws it back, wants to get it moving again. Dupree, a good long pass out there to Skulkberger. Montgomery, Richie McCaw goes for the boot. It's well fielded by Digby Ione. Comes back now with Sheehan. Stocky scrum half. Joe Rokothoko. Well, he was inviting Steyn onto the ball. One way of putting it. Steyn did well to get there.
He's very strong in the tackle as well, isn't he?
Montgomery, strong through those tackles. That's lovely running from Percy Montgomery. And Skulkberger drops it, so it's advantage being played. Dean Mumm.
Hands away, Barbarians!
Shades of the old Percy Montgomery, not just the kicker of 2007. Lovely stepping run from Montgomery.
Quade Cooper. Now, was that deflected?
He can.
All the way through to Jerry Collins at the tail, and that is superb. Habana is flying. Now, he seemed to be taken there. Chris White taking a long look at it. Boost from the crowd as Tukiri gets back, but the Barbarians in the shape of McCaw driving over and demanding the try.
Have a little look, please.
Well, McCaw was very close there. Rico Gear. Jerry Collins, superb break and inside ball. Now then, Brian Habana's chip. Does it lead to a try or a 5-metre scrum? Lottie Tukiri, does he keep control of the ball going over the line? No, Tukiri, it's a scrum 5. McCaw then gets his hand on it. Lottie Tukiri's in control there. Just.
Jeff Warren, the television match official tonight. Gear and McCaw, the two New Zealanders, making life very uncomfortable there for Tukiri, but he's a strong man.
Yeah. Lovely, thank you. Scrum 5.
Barbarians put it though, so danger's still not over for the Wallabies.
Well, now John Smith really does want a good solid scrum here. Joe Rokothoko's on one flank.
Back foot, please.
Habana is as wide as you can be on the other flank. It's very threatening.
Stay on.
Dupree puts in, it's Steyn. Good defence there. It was Ashley Cooper again, and also Quade Cooper. Collins really up for this, isn't he, Jerry Collins? Which is bad news for Australia. There comes Skulkberger, he looks pretty up for it too.
He's always up for it.
No.
Coming off the boot of Dupree. Johan Muller, drive through the middle from the scrum half.
5 metres, you're up too soon, lads.
Referee's coming back for the offside, up within the 5 metres. And it's tapped by the Barbarians, out wide to Rokothoko. Well played by Australia, they were alert. And Adam Ashley Cooper is finding himself everywhere.
Oh, that was a poor pass from Francois Steyn, wasn't it? Jerry Collins wanted to go fast. It's great to see the Barbarians turning down 3 points. They want the win, but they want it in style. But that's way too elevated there. Ball in the air too long, and Ashley Cooper gets back. Joe Rokothoko didn't have a chance there. I just fancy the Australians won't want the Barbarians to have too much ball in this 22.
Steyn wasn't much older than O'Connor, was he, when he won a World Cup? Youngest player to do so. Dupree to Steyn, De Villiers, and then Gear. Where's that gone? Right out the side. Sheer weight of the tackling again off the floor brilliantly by George Smith. Tukiri, good hands. Here goes O'Connor.
Lovely step.
Flashes of the brilliance there, no doubt. Montgomery finding Smith, and De Villiers just slipping there on the surface. It's a cold night. It's lovely conditions for rugby, isn't it? Two scrum halves. A little bit high there from Dupree, but Sheehan was going low. Strength from Digby Ione.
No points, but plenty of pace. Plenty to like about this first 10 minutes. You get the feeling this is going to be an ambitious match.
Cooper, his man had got in front there, and Chris White is just warning them. The centres played it, they would have been offside. Habana throws it backwards. Muller to Montgomery. Look at the commitment there from Matt Dunning. It's good stuff, this, isn't it? De Villiers getting some points now. Halfway line. Collins. Habana come across from the wing. Skulkberger has covered him. Jerry Collins. Dupree. No way through for Pucciarello.
Keep playing.
Stein going to have to work hard to get away from this Australian defence, the Barbarians. They know that. Another clattering challenge comes in. George Smith involved in that. Here comes Bakis-Botha.
Australia are going to make more tackles tonight than they have on this entire tour. The Barbarians are stretching them.
Another one from Mark Chisholm.
Brilliant.
But still the Barbarians have it. And it's Dupree all swinging on there from Millennium. Doesn't want to do that. That's just taking it a little bit too far. Berger, no longer a winger, he's required at the breakdown. Stein. Dunning wrapping round him. Senses Johnston can't take it. It's back with Australia, and Brown got it away quickly to Cross. This is Ryan Cross. What spirited defence? Can it turn into attack? Ball inside meant for Takiri. Lottie Takiri. Oh, what a try this is. Not just because of the finish, but because of the tackling that went beforehand. Brilliant team effort.
Oh, fantastic. Battering round defence from the Wallabies. They have no right to keep holding out the Barbarians on the gain line. In the end, Pucciarello is turned over. And Ryan Cross, who is really developing into a good international, picked a lovely line. He's not the quickest in the world, but his brain was working fast. He pulled the Barbarians wide. He couldn't get the inside ball, and Takiri keeps his depth. Good handoff now. Pull him wide. He's wide looking up. Takiri, let's not try for the pass. He waits the chip. It stands up for Takiri. It's been a 1-2-3 in the solar plexus from the Barbarians, but the Australians, they've just bobbed and weaved, and they've delivered the first blow to put the Barbarians down. Great score, come back in a half for Lottie Takiri.
I mean, they say, don't they, if you concentrate too much on Giteau and Mortlock when Australia are at full strength, you take your eyes off Ryan Cross at your peril. And there we saw his growing talent in the sport of union. It's O'Connor with the conversion, and it's the Barbarians.
Starting to look a very good player. He looked bits and pieces. He looks a lot more than that now. The handoff on Jean de Villiers. Kick-off now, but we know that from that, a lovely kick and score for Takiri. Well played, Cross.
Just two or three from both sides. Just keep it down, thank you. Is he okay?
Penalty both here for the Wallabies straight from the restart.
Just a touchdown, please, both sides.
Didn't know we had to press the button for the scoreboard these days.
Well, I'll tell you why you said that, because you were calling Dan Carter kicks nearly in front of the post over, and they were missed. You weren't taking any risks this time. You got Carter wrong 3 times. You cursed him, you didn't curse the youngster. Well done.
No, he got it wrong.
Yeah. Still can't believe Dan Carter missed 5. I guess everyone in England's thinking some relief.
Pelota now. Good throw into Chisholm. Cooper to Anamashni Cooper. Sheehan.
No, release on the floor, release!
Turnover ball again. Collins.
Stay up, boys, stay up! Hands off, hands off! Hands off, Brett!
Winning some good turnovers, the Barbarians. You'd expect with that back row, Berger, McCaw and Collins, that to be the case. O'Connor. Dupree. Nearly lost by Stein.
Goal release!
De Villiers. Takiri. Almost feel Lottie Takiri taking a breather there. It's been such a frantic start. Where's Montgomery going? He's going straight into those tacklers again. George Smith is never going to be far away today, especially as he's leading the side. And Australia have a penalty.
7 on his feet.
Let's go down pitch side and join our reporter Graham Simmons. He's with benchman Mark Regan.
Niles, thank you very much indeed. Yes, Mark Regan sitting here with the other Barbarians replacements, looking on intently. Mark, on the basis of what, the first 15-16 minutes, you have to go some to break this Australian defence. They're tackling like demons.
I think so, yeah. They're playing exceptionally well. Obviously been together for obviously the whole season now. They've been 6 weeks together now as well, so their defence is spot on at the moment. We're struggling getting over the gain line, and they're pressurising us, making us kick the ball too much.
How much training have you had together as a team?
We haven't had much training at all. 2 sessions, that's all. Obviously, we're all outstanding players. It's all about playing for that shirt today. The guys are obviously very keen. We just need to be a bit more clinical. Obviously, we're not getting over the gain line. We need to be more direct.
It's becoming a bit of a Barbarians fixture these days. What's it like training and rooming and living and knocking around with like some McCaw and Habana and all these sort of people, Mark?
My roomie this week has been Scott Berger, a tremendous fella. It's fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Obviously, being involved in the guys who've played World Cup finals against, etc., etc. So it's a fantastic atmosphere to be involved in, and it's a great privilege to be involved. Obviously, the Barbarians are playing picture.
The pace they're going at the moment, you know, you're going to get on before much longer. They're going to be worn out by half time the way they're going.
I think both sides will, buddy. It's a very they're up the tempo. I think we've put double the amount of tackles at them, and they've got the ball a lot. So obviously they're a well-drilled side. Their basics are very good, and obviously their defence is spot on at the moment.
Discipline's proving an issue as well, isn't it?
It will. It will. We have scratch side put together, and it will take time to obviously gel. Hopefully, it's going to be an interesting game.
Thanks for your time. Enjoy it. Nice to see you here again.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks, Mark.
Meanwhile, Australia have a penalty virtually in front of the posts. And O'Connor, and I hesitate to say it, should get this, and it should be 10-0. I mean, they're treating it as a test match, Australia, rightly so, and a chance for these players to impress. I mean, the young ones and also the more seasoned ones, like George Smith, trying to take them where they want to be.
Yeah, and they're building this game on the defence. Robbie Dean's very much like Canterbury Crusaders. You defend, you stop people, and then you take your opportunities. 6 tackles made already by George Smith. You couldn't ask for a better example and more leadership there. Right, young James O'Connor. Overcome the curse of Miles Harrison.
Yes, he does.
Loves to look up and push balls into the corner because Habana is so quick. The ball stays in field. It's terrible pressure. Australia pleased that one went out.
No release.
Shin. There's Cooper. As deep as he could be. He's done well.
Player with plenty of time. Brian Habana, a man who can close time out on any defender. Jerry Collins, lovely offload. I just thought, no, that's a dive, Brian Habana. Shame upon you. As if a young man like James O'Connor would be that cynical. A cynical Australian sportsman, never.
Smith's overthrown there, and it was Smith who retrieved. That's good offload from Quade Cooper, and Adam Ashley Cooper is trying to hand off Jerry Collins. Easier said than done. Great support work from George Smith. And the Barbarians have cannily slowed this down because Australia had numbers to the right. Chris White's not happy about that at all.
I think Chris White is quite right there because people just assume it's a Barbarians game, so you don't want yellow cards. But if one team is stopping the other player by cynical play, then White should take action. The crowd are booing that Australia are kicking, but why shouldn't they? George Smith everywhere again. And there, lovely little offload by Cooper. And Ashley Cooper is almost away from Collins. And I don't think Collins ever gets up, and I don't think he's the only one. Does he get on his feet? He tries to first of all, and he's back down often. Should be 13-0.
Don't you start.
I didn't curse Carter.
O'Connor again, as easy as you like.
Very composed. And Australia, they've weathered a lot of pressure from the Barbarians, an awful lot of possession for the scratch team, but Australia are coming away with the big plays.
Lots for the Barbarians to think about here.
Really good restart work from Australia. It's given them a nice platform every time.
Chisholm there in that second row with McMenamin. Both big presences on the field. Talking of which, here comes another in Scott Berger. Oh, they haven't got him. He's got out of it. And he's still going. De Villiers with a slip. And now a long drop goal from Francois Steyn. We're always going to get one. Not really in the Barbarian tradition, but he just can't resist.
He has an addiction to the drop goal. When he comes to Europe, if he ever does, he'll be joining Stade Francais. There's no doubt about that. Scott Berger, really powerful there. George Smith involved. Adam Ashley Cooper, and he's up and he's pumping those legs. But at the moment, there's a gold brick wall.
There's the golden hair of Berger. Oh. He sought out McMenamin.
He's going to run through that.
And here goes Collins. Dupree. In the scrum half again. Steyn just pulled it behind there to Montgomery, away from Census Johnson, the prop. Johan Muller.
Let's go.
He's been a bit of a pack leader this week on the line calls. That's Stein to Habana.
Leave it alone, Gold, leave it. Leave it alone. Hands away.
Australia, though, have rucked over. Cross again to Kiri, the men who combine for the finish on the try. And Jean de Villiers there as the last line of defence. Advantage being played here. Coming in at the side. Montgomery back in his full-back position now. And there's the penalty.
Montgomery looked up and he saw Richie McCaw standing on the wing. He was never going to go 70 metres, and I think Montgomery just hit that ball straight down the throat of an Australian, thinking we'll get the penalty. Here's Berger trying to batter his way through the Aussie brick wall. But it's very firm at the moment, Australia. They're very resilient. And hard as the Barbarians run at them, what they're not doing is supplying enough quick ball, and that's why this organised Australian defence has still not been breached.
49 caps for South Africa now, Berger. John Smith, 81 caps, South Africa's most cap forward, throws in. Good line-out throw as well to Richie McCaw, who angled beautifully to get the ball back, and quickly Collins therefore into his stride, and the Barbarians moving forward here with a bit of venom. Matched by Australia in the defence again. Berger held back by Chisholm. My goodness, the Aussies are wound up.
But Berger got that ball away beautifully there. That's what he's going to have to do, offload more.
Stein tries to use those quick feet of his.
Move! Advantage, not moving, it's up to you.
Another advantage for the Barbarians. Here's Census Johnston of the Saracens. And nothing coming quickly from that ruck. Barbarian penalty. They shouldn't kick it for the posts.
Well, it's interesting. If they're not going to, I wonder if John Smith will say, let's go to the line-out. Because Smith has a really good understanding. He's got Bakkies brought up, he's got Johan Muller, so you've got a hooker and two South African jumpers. They've got Berger there, they've got all sorts of angles there, and they really are trying to play this game in the right spirit. They want to win it, but they want to win it with tries and conversions.
And in that moment, you could hear the reaction from the crowd on the same wavelength as the players, and obviously the Barbarians were getting the crowd support anyway, but even more so now. There is a large Australian contingent in England's capital, and they're here in force as well tonight. As we heard when Australia crossed for the only try of the game so far. Smith throwing over the top again. Can't quite get it right all the time, John Smith tonight.
Let him have.
Very ambitious call so close to the try line. You thought they might have gone for the safe ball there.
And Stein's gone pouring through. That's offside. Sheehan goes away quickly. And now it's hooker Pelota now. That's one come out the back pocket. Absolutely brilliant. Similar to the first try, this as Ione goes long with the kick, but not quite the same result as Joe Rokocoko is running back. It's coming thick and fast, this match. Berger. Dupree. Staines kick. O'Connor. A lot of space there. He's seen it. Making Stein play it from an awkward angle. Not too much ground gain.
Another very good kick.
Thank you very much, John.
But it was nearly no smiling matter for Fourie du Preez, because he just didn't go high. He was aiming on the floor as well, Quade Cooper. That wasn't particularly pleasant.
Very good referee, and you can see it again. First of all, Pelota now missiles in on his man there.
I didn't hear the cannon go off, but he came flying out of it.
And I can't condone violence, but a fly half not intimidated by a loose head prop. There's something warming in that. But really, Cooper was, as you say, the guilty party there. And Chris White and his assistant referees have got it absolutely right. Calm down, penalty against Australia. Spot on.
Wayne Barnes, of course, the man who stepped in from the touchline. Now from Muller, this is Berger and Stein. Habana is working in very little space, Brian Habana. We've seen him a couple of times try to come through but not have the ball.
They're bringing him off his wing. He's not like Joe Rokocoko getting anything out wide. Australia are condensing this field. They're making it very hard for the Barbarians to find space. And Australia, if they can stop space for the Barbarians, can win this game. They've got a great start, 13-0, but there's a lot of tackling to come yet.
Let's use it, please. Let's use it.
Saw Rodney Blake there, Australian against Australia now, on for the Barbarians into that front row.
Hang on, number 17.
Montgomery down the line.
Yeah, he's on it. He's
Quade Cooper. He's only 20. Got 78 minutes in the match against Wales, coming on for Sterling Mortlock. That's risky. Lottie De Kiri is the kind of man, though, who can make something of it, and he's trying to bust his way out of the 22, which he does really well. But that's not so good. Hands in the right. It's a penalty. And it's a quick tap as well. And it's Rico Gear who takes it. Johan Muller, it did have to go.
Yeah,
There were men waiting for that. For De Prea. Rokothoko. Richie McCaw feeling the weight again of Mark Chisholm, who has tackled his heart out in this first half.
Well, surely the Barbarians are going to take 3 points here. John Smith, does he take a scrum? Yes. At last he decides that Australia's defence is deserving of more respect than the Barbarians expected. Ground down by the Australians. Montgomery steps up for his first kick at goal. Richie McCaw hit very hard by Mark Chisholm, who has been particularly impressive all over the park there. That's where Muller should have gone there. Cooper making the tackles, everyone making their tackles in Australia. It's a 13-0 lead that should soon be 13-3, but it's based on defence.
Montgomery gets the 3 points. Absolute must with that decision having been taken by John Smith. Montgomery had to deliver those 3 points for his captain. The crowd didn't like it, but and you took the temperature of the match there. The Barbarians simply had to get something to show for their efforts as we approach half-time.
Yeah, this certainly doesn't feel like a 3-13 game, though, at the moment, does it? I mean, the ball is zipping around all over the place. There's plenty of ambition, but what there also is some extraordinary defence. Australia are defending in this essentially friendly game as if it's a full-blooded test match against the All Blacks. Great stuff.
Great credit to them and also to Robbie Deans, their coach, for getting them up to this level for this match at the end of a long, hard year.
On your feet, boys, on your feet.
Johnston. Steyn. Forced onto his left.
Onside.
O'Connor. To Kiri, great to see him back. Box office, lovely to Kiri. Montgomery.
Come.
Here's O'Connor. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Talking of feet, look at that little jinking one. Tackled in the end by Worcester's Rico Gear. And it's turnover ball again for the Barbarians. Can they make something of it? John de Villiers. Berger straightening up and bouncing his men. De Prea. Smith with the kick met for Rokothoko. Could be interesting, the bounce. George Smith can't control. Rokothoko almost got a boot onto that. Now hit that ruck, say the Barbarians, and we can get that ball quickly. And they've got it. De Prea to Steyn. Look at that Australian line again, up so quickly. De Prea's going long. Cross thought about an interception, couldn't get there. Off the floor from Gear, going wide. John de Villiers.
Away goal, release, Letty!
Once again, the Barbarians throwing everything at the Wallabies, who are up to it. Blake.
Tackle his move! Get out of the way! Advantage, he's not moving.
It's going to be another penalty, but McCaw wants more. De Prea. Well, where's that one going? Could be a breakaway. Cooper got a boot onto it, but of course, advantage was being played.
Again, Australia are just coming so fast in the outside channels. They're stopping the Barbarians going wide. Brian Habana holds the ball in hand, but there's no gap there. I guess if Smith decides to take the first penalty, he'll take another one. 13-6 if this goes over. Australia are forcing the Barbarians to treat this as a very serious and solemn test affair.
I just apologise for what I understand is intermittent loss of sound. We're doing our best. We know there have been problems because just about everything's been changed. Microphone, headphones.
Good chip this from Smith, isn't it? George Smith loses control, and then it's a pinball moment. It could go anywhere, but it ends up in the breadbasket of George Smith, where so much has in this first half.
Stoically, though, you've kept your cap on. Well done.
It's a night for a cap.
A night for kicking for the Barbarians. Montgomery. 6 points for the Barbarians in this first half, all from the boot of Percy Montgomery, getting the team back into the match, and plenty for Jake White and Eddie Jones to ponder, and plenty for Robbie Deans to be pleased about.
Well, I mean, Australia have been pummeled in many ways, but their defence has stood up excessively well. Their counter-attacks have been good, and the kick-in has been excellent. So Australia really on the back foot in terms of possession, but they're looking dangerous on the counter.
Adam Ashley Cooper.
Stay up, boys, hands away now, that's all right. Hands away. That's the counter ruck, stay up.
Controlled this time by Australia at that breakdown. Sheehan.
Away, hands away, Barbarians!
Robbie Deans promised that everybody would play on this tour, and at last Brett Sheehan has got his chance. This is his first appearance. Even though he spent time in Australian Rugby League. Digby Ione. Running into Bakis Bota. And Rodney Blake.
How many boys?
And on there, poor
Stand up.
Rodzilla.
It's gone to ground and get it inside going forward.
And he'll prop now.
No, we
Against
made
some of his mates.
Time, please, Jeff.
Should be time for one scrum. It's been an enjoyable half, Chris White. Let's not blow up with 20 seconds to go. Let's get this scrum in. John Smith looking on, blowing hard. I just think the Barbarians will keep the pace of this game up. They're going to try and run the legs out of Australia, but Deans' young team are extremely well organisation. Right now, it's the organisation of Australia has it over the class and the experience of the Barbarians. That would be my first half summary.
And they're a fresh team as well. Remember, just 5 of the side that started in Cardiff at the weekend. And bursting for this opening on the tour. Smith off the outside of the boot. Scott Berger's got some work here, gets down well, and Sheehan goes crashing into him again.
He's done it.
Dupree, Stain, he's being driven back by Dunning. But that's half-time, and it rather sums up the first half. Shane Williams on the bench, no doubt we'll be seeing him in the second period. And it looks as if the Barbarians are going to have to ring a few changes to freshen this up, because at the moment, the only first half try scored by Australia. And all the weight of defence, just too much for the Barbarian attacks. Half-time at Wembley, it's Barbarians 6, Australia 13.
We'll be back to Wembley shortly. This game does have an unusually long half-time break. Thought I'd qualify that if you're wondering why we're not back on the pitch yet. Quick comment from you, Ben Tune, on the breakdown. Dominant performance by the Barbarians, which sounds strange because Australia's defence has been so good.
Well, I think in general, the attacking team's breakdown hasn't been great, and there's a simple reason for that. Because of the style of game it is, a lot of the forwards, or a lot of the players in general, are sort of fanning out, ready to get the ball and have a run, and they're not worrying about what you have to do first, and that is secure the ball. So it's actually not unusual for the defensive breakdown or the defending team's breakdown work to be dominant. It's important for the Wallabies. It's even more important for the Barbarians because they need quick ball. That's the only way they're going to stay in this game, is to give that back line of theirs good quick ball with lots of room to use it with.
Berger, Collins and McCaw have been pretty important in that aspect of the game, but they haven't seemed to be able to play that expansive game because the Wallabies have been in their faces.
Yeah, and again, it's the fact that the Wallabies are so organised, they're well structured, they know what they're doing, whereas the Barbarians have basically been thrown together, and their attack, you can tell they're disjointed, disorganised. It's very hard when your attack is like that to break a very organised defensive line. It's nearly impossible.
What do you think? The commentators have given Francois Steyn a hard time over his 2 drop goal attempts. What do you think?
Oh, so he should. I mean, I don't want to get too critical in it. It's a Barbarians game, but the fact of the matter is, this isn't about individuals. You know, like a 45, 50-metre field goal. Come on, it's not really in the spirit of what the Barbarians is about.
I'm sure Francois heard the crowd booing when he attempted that long-range drop goal towards the end of the half. I think we're just about right now to go back to Wembley and our commentators in what we hope will be a very entertaining second half. The players are out on the field, but we're yet to hear from the commentators. We're expecting some bench changes too, of course. It'd be a travesty not to see George Gregan out there at some stage. Great to see Rodney Blake out there. You and I were discussing him in the commercial break. Still a very young player. Obviously not on this spring tour, when a couple of years ago it would have been thought he'd be amongst the top few props, but getting valuable experience overseas. And when he comes back and is ready to play for the Wallabies, more depth in the front row. Let's go.
He's come on for Percy Montgomery, 34-year-old Percy Montgomery, and that means Havana goes to full back, Williams on the wing. Interesting seeing Matt Gitto there, reportedly offered a 4-year deal by Bayonne this week, and quite a hefty package as well.
OK, gentlemen, that's good.
It's a lovely life in the Basque, going brilliantly in the French league, isn't it? Aren't they? Took 4th place. But would Bayonne fancy playing a back 3? Havana at full back, Williams on one wing, Rokothoko on the other. The complete balance, power, pace, speed, agility.
Berger to Dupree, and in comes Havana from full-back, out to Rokothoko, inside to Havana. That's beautiful rugby right at the start of the second half. Collins takes it.
That was glorious.
Dupree, Stain, Census Johnston, and we're playing against Bayonne at the weekend in Saracens colours. Stain again, this is Rico Gear. Richie McCaw. It'll need a lot to stop him. Miller's claiming it, he thinks it's been scored. Chris White's had a pretty good view as well. But the view that really matters, I think, is going to be the one that is seen by Jeff Warren, our television match official.
Jeff, see the ball was granted, otherwise 5 minutes gone.
I just get the sense Johan Muller wasn't being completely objective about that. Richie McCaw ran into, yet again, that green and gold wall.
Can you stay on, binding if it's a scrum? Thanks, Wayne.
Well, he's within about a metre of the try line. It's not gone down. Big presence of Ryan Cross there, because he's wearing 13 for the Wallabies.
He's got his arms wrapped around it.
Like, how many times does Ryan Cross get himself in that position? Such an important part of the modern game, defending on that game line with the video ref. You got a chance if you get your body underneath that ball. Cross and the Aussies have done ever so well. Can't see Jeff Warren giving that. He's his own man, I can't see that.
An appeal from Muller. I think this one's going down leg side.
McCaw has the ball. You can't see the ball at the moment. There it is. Rockefeller's trying to drive crossover. Cross has got his legs. I can't see it. Jeff might.
Yeah. All right, lovely. It's 5 metre scrum. Thank you, Jeff. We'll just do it over here, so we just wait from that.
Scrum 5.
Mark, we just talked about Shane Williams, Habana and Rockefeller combining. The pace and the power of Habana and Rockefeller from the restart was simply scintillating. Worth coming to Wembley to see those two in harmony. Brilliant.
Once again, it brought the best out of the Australian defence and Ryan Cross, who has the scar to show for it. Dupree puts in, and it's Berger going off the base of that scrum like Berger does so well. Dupree trying to get with him, and does. Now the big drive comes on, and Chris White looks again, no, just short. McCaw's got it, going to leave it to the scrum half, is he? No, McCaw's going to have a go towards the post.
Hey, go now, boys! In the post, out we come.
And back out for another scrum.
Oh, Richie McCaw, he's sniffing around out on the wing. He's on the try line like a goal poacher here.
Against the post space, you just check, please.
Grounded on the bottom of the post, of course, is a try.
That would constitute a try.
Well, that's John Smith going for the line.
That's the initial raid from Smith, the hooker.
Here's the one that matters.
McCaw takes it away from Dupree. He's trying to get to the post.
And he's not done it. Sheehan, number 9 Sheehan there, makes sure that he doesn't get it to the post. It has to be on the floor. He can't just dab the post 6 inches up. But I think Sheehan there, Brett Sheehan, Dusty Sheehan as he's known at Waratah Land, Sydney makes the defensive block there again. I'm not giving an inch. The scrum half. Oh, hang on. Blake.
It's Rodney Blake who's slipped in there.
Oh, put it down now. That's that close to the line there. Rod Zilla.
Of course, he's got to carry the ball, but his elbows getting in the way of him grounding the ball, either against the post or on the line itself. So once again, no try.
Barbarians trying the odd auto-suggestion game. Everyone was back for the restart. Franz Steyn looking to take the penalty. Chris White's been around too long, and so has Jeff Warren, one of the greatest TMOs in the game.
Right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Let's concentrate on what we're doing. On a ball,
In my humble opinion.
Cracks. Touch. Pause. Engage.
It is a battery and an assault
Stay on,
from the
boys.
Barbarians again.
Stay.
Is it Berger again? Well, he needs a platform, and that platform disintegrated. Berger's put on his backside by Richard Brown.
See what's happened here. Come on, lads, we'll have to do it.
You do feel now, in the context of this game, the Barbarians really need something here. Habana started this move. Lovely hands from Dupree. Steps inside. That's great work there. Rockefeller's handling. He's developed into a beautiful offload of the game.
It's the way it's done at full tilt.
No checks. The passes in front. You know, Habana and Rockefeller, so exciting.
No breaking of stride. Wonderful to see. Now that's better ball for Berger, and he feeds it out.
Oh.
And Shane Williams knew all about that.
Australia's defence is just growing, and Shane Williams, he might be the IRB World Player of the Year, but someone didn't tell the Australians to respect the Welsh magician. Battered.
He's played 4 games for Wales against Australia. He scored a try in each of those matches, but he wasn't going to score a try there. Not against Quade Cooper, who once again stands firm.
Look at that, Quade Cooper. 5 guys straight up to him. Well done, mate. Great camaraderie in this Australian team. Superb physical defending.
Now the Barbarian scrum has its reply. Look at that slow clap from Richie McCaw to make the point.
Over here, lads, over here.
And Rod Blake trying to make a point to the watching. Robbie Dean's out of favour now. But he's come on the Barbarian scrum in attack and defence. is in atomise mode. The Australians put on their backside there, and this is a very big blindside. And again, Shane Williams, this last time, was the man came on.
Okay, gents.
The decoy was Habana or Rokocoko. Are they used this time?
And Blake and Johnson together tonight. They'll be against each other at the weekend. Saracens in that Bayonne fixture. One of the many games you can see live on Sky Sports this European weekend. What a weekend it promises to be. But plenty for us to enjoy here at Wembley tonight first.
Can the South Africans? You wonder if they go short side. Berger, can he use his presence just to hold an Australian, and Dupree with his handling skills?
Thank you, goal.
Habana has decided that 20 metres isn't enough. He's gone to attack mode, trying to pull an Australian with him.
Touch, pause, engage.
Blindside is Takira against Rokocoko. And a few more now as Berger gets it out to Fleury Dupree, but that's a good reaction there from Brett Sheehan. Covered his opposite number very well indeed. McMenamin goes forward, and crucial metres as well.
Stay back, stay back, stay back.
Buys a little bit of time as well as ground. It's back to Quade Cooper, but it's a slice. And it's a counter-attack. And it involves Habana, but not for long.
Stay up, goal, come off it.
As Adam Ashley Cooper makes the tackle, then tries to sort of form the bridge over the top to slow it down, but it's still the Barbarian ball, and it's Rico Gear, and that's an angled chip inside, which O'Connor deals with very well again. Still hasn't put a foot wrong with the youngster.
The Aussies are down to 13 men at the moment, 2 on the ground.
Out wide to the left, so Sheehan will have got the call. This needs to go into touch. And somehow Cooper has threaded it through the gap. Now Chris White has time. The Western Force, Zimbabwe-born, led Australia in the Under-21 World Championships in June, and was very good.
Barbarians cut it to 5-man, 2 pods there, looking for quick ball. They've got Berger, Collins in the middle.
Dupree, Berger there, and Collins, as you say, for that job, but it needs to be recycled quickly. Australia given chance to form that defensive line again. Williams and De Villiers. So here we are, moving towards the 50-minute mark in this match, and still the Barbarians do not have a try.
No, let's go, Barbarians, hands away. Hold goal, hold goal.
Cooper. Looks like he's deliberately putting that on the kick, almost Carlos Spencer style, to take it towards the touchline with that spiral. Is Steyn. McCall, that's an interception. It's Adam Ashley Cooper. Now, can he get away? Well, he's going to need support, and the support is good, and it's strong, and it's come from Dean Munn, and he really covered the ground well there, the big man. Mark Chisholm is there too. Australia have it. Well, having once again soaked up all that pressure, suddenly Australia now in a position to score points themselves. They've got an advantage. Sheehan gets it out.
Barbarians just couldn't be patient enough. Great defence again.
See what, I've got it.
Ashley Cooper. Now he's made the line.
Held up.
But held up.
On the floor, number 11. First player, on the floor, 11.
There's some great defence here. You thought that was money for old rope there. Ashley Cooper burst through the 2 lines. And again, Fleury Dupree there underneath.
Number 11 not releasing.
Although he doesn't get this down, we are seeing here tonight again what a good international player Adam Ashley Cooper is developing into.
Well, he's been playing full back, and he's been very solid. In 2007, when Mortlock was injured, he played outside centre quite a lot for the Brumbies. Here tonight he's playing inside centre. There's great versatility in a player who also has individual proven class. Habana and Dupree, look at that. We talk about scrum halves in the defensive work. That's brilliant from Dupree. If he doesn't fight for that one, that is a try for Australia. Didn't give anything up, the South African.
Can we bind, please, lads? Thank you.
13 times this year he's appeared for the Wallabies at full-back, but centre here tonight, as you say, also played on the wing, and this is going towards the wing, and the full-back coming into the line, O'Connor. Fry's got it back.
Balls out.
Sheehan caught
and clattered.
And being thrown around out there, like so many players have been. Good reply from the Barbarians. Here comes Collins, head down.
Move, Australia, move, hands away. Hold it.
Dupree, Steyn, trying to relieve the pressure now with the kick. Rokocko's going after it. And he breaks for a line out. And I think we're going to see some changes here from the Barbarians. 2 or 3 players down there stripped off, about to come on.
It's all well and good Steyn kicking the ball away after Collins tap and go, but they could have had the line out throw themselves. That one amounted to nothing. It's Jack back.
Chris Jack, the Saracen, Teddy Jones working with this side. He comes on, the New Zealand international, 67 caps. Also on his Ollie Smith there, now with Montpellier in France, the England international. Still only 26, 8 years since he became the youngest Leicester Tiger to play in a league game. And there is Nick Costa, very highly rated Western Province player. I think the Lions will be seeing him in the summer. Part of the Under-20 World Championships this summer. Another one of those players to shine in that competition. Ashley Cooper again. Shane Williams runs it out as he ran out of space.
Once again, the Barbarians put everything into the first 5 minutes, and then there's an intercept. Australia go away. They haven't come away with any points, but they put the Barbarians on their back foot again.
Sense of Johnson, Johan Muller and Rico Gear, the men to go for the Barbarians as a result of those changes. Half an hour to go, you're up to speed. Australia's certainly up to speed in this match.
No move, lads, no move.
The hunger and the thirst of these players, many of them not getting those starts in the test matches on this tour. There for all to see tonight as Berger clears.
Not go all Williams away. It's been brilliantly organised defence from the Wallabies.
Okay, let's go.
The Wembley Arch looking very impressive at night.
Hold it 19, wait.
Oh.
Burgess on now for Australia. There you can see it scrum half. Cross. George Gregan is warming up for the Barbarians. And there's Burgess finding Habana hot to handle, but not too hot.
Can't do anything, lads. Barbar's going forward.
Yeah, once again, I mean, Habana's come in flat out at that, but Burgess, he really developed in the last 6 months or so as an international, hasn't he? And he just closes down his man, just not letting any of the Barbarians get away. Crowd booed. They thought it was a high tackle. It sort of was around the neck. Technically, they might be right, but Habana's gone so low that in the spirit of the night, Chris White's absolutely right there.
Burgess made his debut against Ireland this summer, and since then he's just been growing in maturity. He didn't have his best game at Twickenham, in the game that we saw live on Sky. But it's coming, and it's coming fast. Ollie Smith loses that to Ryan Cross, who still has the presence of mind and skill to offload again.
Ollie Smith looked at Ryan Cross coming. He really did.
Advantage knocked on initially, scrum down here, goal forward.
Another error forced by this Australian commitment in defence, which has been exemplary tonight. It really has.
Once again, Ollie Smith, who clearly has taken his eye off the ball there. Smith coming up, organised really well there. Adam Ashley Smith carrying on.
Just to confirm the news coming from the bench on Matt Dunning, I'm afraid it is a snapped Achilles. Knew as soon as it went.
They come up, boys, here it comes.
It's the one you dread, isn't it?
Yeah, horrible injury.
We got it. Nudge forward, I couldn't see it there, We scrum down here, goal ball. Just nudge forward, trying to pick the ball up.
The crowd won't like this little lull. Australia might. Just taking the heat out of the Barbarians game, and the Barbarians will be forced to play even higher risk rugby at the moment.
There has been no restlessness in the crowd, though. I mean, they haven't seen the try, but they thoroughly enjoyed the entertainment.
Oh, it's been an uncompromising game, hasn't it? I mean, sometimes you get a lot of tries and it's just a little bit loose. Now, you know, there's I think a lot of people here who are fairly new to rugby and not regulars there, but those Australian supporters, and you see a lot of Aussie woolly hats, they're loving it.
Contested scrum then, and here is Digby Ione, travelling well there with ball in hand, supported by Pocock.
No move, Barbarians, here it comes, boys, here it comes.
George Smith has had a terrific night, hasn't he? Just there on the edge, making sure, looking after his players. That's a little bit loose though, and Shane Williams was nearly pouncing on it.
This is probably the scrappiest 5 minutes we've had in the game. There's been more errors, a lot of scrums, a lot of knock-ons there, but defences are perhaps wearing down the attacks here. That wasn't the greatest pass. Shane Williams, half a chance, but it would have been a miracle pick up there. The net is still very tight around these men in black and white shirts, isn't it?
No points in this second half, as we were at the interval. First meeting between these two, 1948, was designed to help get the Australian tourists back home.
Hang on, boys, hang on.
Via Canada to raise the funds. Finished Barbarians 9, Australian 6.
Huge kick.
So Australia lost that day, but they've had the better of meetings between these two in recent times, including the last one in 2001 in Cardiff when it finished 49-35. That was a feast of tries. This has been a different style of match, but it's not because the players haven't wanted to give us those moments.
Well, the Barbarians have been all-out attack, but they've been blunted by an uncompromising and organised defence.
Smith there at standoff, providing the link back to the real standoff
Okay.
Quade Cooper.
It's a good kick, just says to Rokothoko, can you do it? Come all the way.
Well, let's see if he can. Rokothoko to lead this breakout, but it's another big challenge, and it's another big one from George Smith. Brian Habana's going to have his bruises tonight. Dropped onto the boot by Steyn. Referee waving it on. It was a knock-on.
He lost that forward first. Then
It's not worked for Francois Steyn, has it really? He's tried a lot of things. Really hasn't quite come off. As for George Smith, it's business as usual. He's up against two of the best three open sides in the world, so he's redoubling his effort. Lovely angle there from Habana. Well, I must say the work there from Pocock is superb. Fresh blood in defence.
Well, he comes up with the bulk of the muscle there. It was Smith who almost took the hit himself.
13.
Pocock coming up on the blind side, and that's what he did in the tournament in the summer, the under-20, and Brian Habana noted the presence and scored a try against Italy on this tour.
19, let him run.
Cooper to Kiri. Burgess. Cooper again. Very composed, doesn't he, in the fly half?
Yeah, nothing too flash, but he's keeping the ball moving.
Let go.
Oh, they're in spirit coming back, and when it's denied to them illegally, the referee gives the penalty.
10.
Becky's Bolter. All in the Cornwall socks. Here's Habana. Collins. Well, where's he throwing it to? I don't think he knows. Just trying to keep it alive. Smith got it back. Then it was fielded by Burgess, and George Smith makes a rare error as Australia had a chance to go there.
Tantalisingly close to getting away Habana. You see Pocock again, though. Makes a brilliant cover there. Good offload from Bolter. Beautiful ball from Williams. Fixed his man. But the back row cover, how well does he do to get there? And again, Australia will not be denied defensively.
And he bounced off the canvas to make another tackle there, Pocock.
I thought he was the Australian find of last summer's, in our point of view, Super 14, their winter, high-class player in the making.
De Villiers. Richie McCaw entitled to have a little bit of tiredness in those legs now.
Hands away, goal!
Corey Dupree. Running out of time in this match. George Gregan about to come on. He'll get a great roar against Australia. Gregan played in the 2001 match in Cardiff for Australia against the Barbarians, played alongside George Smith. There he is. And Mark Regan, who's become such a great servant of the Barbarians in recent times. Almost Mr. Barbarians, if you like, with his captaincy against South Africa a year ago when the Barbarians won at Twickenham in that match. And also against England in June. George Gregan, 139 caps for the Wallabies.
Now, what an irony if it was George Gregan to unlock this defence that has just been cast iron so far. You don't think he's going to go for 40 metres, but he might find that little sleight of hand. Maybe to get Berger in the hole.
Careful.
Oh, good break. Oh,
Jean de Villiers just tapped, was almost away there.
Move 7, release.
Clever work at the breakdown from Australia. George Smith had no intention there of playing it. He was just getting on the wrong side in front of his old mate Gregan. A nuisance.
it ain't very often that Richie McCaw loses the breakdown battle, but right now, even with Berger alongside him, as we see Jean de Villiers stretching his hamstring, George Smith and company are winning this one.
Let's go this way,
de Villiers almost through. Cooper has had a fine defensive game. Oh, and there's George Smith.
Okay.
Taking his man, making sure he's on the wrong side. Can't get up, ref. Can't give a penalty against me.
Australians take their sports 1908. Australia won that day, they got the gold medal, and they're determined to get the gold medals that will be handed out after this match tonight. They're in pole position, but there's still work to do. Quarter of the game to go. Gregan, Steyn. Could be a collision here, and it could work for the Barbarians. Nearly hacked on by Costa, but it's Digby Ione who comes out of a right mess there with the ball. Burgess. Going to be tight on that far side, but McMenamin tries to break through.
Play it!
Along with Dean Mum.
Keep playing!
McMenamin covering a lot of ground. It's hacked on by Gregan. O'Connor. Now a chance for de Villiers. They're calling on this side to give it to Williams. Shane Williams beats one, looking inside, ball to Collins. Referee was right in line, and there's the try. Different match now.
Now, would you believe it? James O'Connor has been so unflustered, he's been so mature, and then he's the one who makes the error. Well played Jean de Villiers, because when the ball came to him 30 metres infield, he instinctively knew he had to go wide, not back into the traffic. And Shane Williams, the world Player of the year, does ever so well. He's got this little check to hold them. Here comes the break, the error initially. Gregan with the chip. This ball has to find touch. Just a tired kick there, but De Villiers goes the right way. Watch Williams, the check to hold Ione, pulls his men wide. O'Connor can't get there, and then Collins with the muscle to go over. This is lovely play. The little check, the stop, it pulls two men wide. He knows where the touchline is. Lovely little pass there, and Jerry Collins is in.
And that is what the majority of people here wanted to see. The Barbarians, the supported team, and people getting out of their seats and seeing the kind of try that they wanted to see as well. Staying, every point matters here, and there's two that get away for the Barbarians.
Advantage.
And again, Williams again. Australia know they have to get there quickly. I'll tell you what, there'll be some Ospreys watching that with hearts in their mouth.
What's that?
Ouch.
Ow, was a Bob Dylan song, You Ain't Going Nowhere. Shane Williams always levelled there by the Wallabies. Ashley Cooper, yet again, knows that he can't get outside him. Bang.
Yeah, nice big gap.
And Ione likes a tackle as well. Oof.
He's incredibly durable though, isn't he, Williams?
Yeah,
deceptively strong, it seems.
And see how elastic he is as well. I mean, very supple there. He'll come back for more in the next 17.
Hold it. Let's go.
Fryer throwing, even though Pelota now is still on the field. And we've lost two Australian props to injury.
Come away! Onside now, you're onside.
Well taken by Pocock.
Release, Barbarians, release!
Burgess, nice service to Cooper. And the corner nearly got him.
Watch out.
Habana, well, he'll go flying after this.
Hang on, Seven!
It's curving in. Well, flag is up.
Yeah, that's the other side of Brian Habana. We know about his speed. At Twickenham we saw his defensive capacity. Didn't think anything was on there. Picked up as good as Percy Montgomery. Finds the 22.
We updated you on Matt Dunning. Sokopi Kepu, by the way, looked like he might have broken his arm the way he's holding it.
Pick him up.
Or a shoulder problem. It is in fact a pectoral muscle that is damaged. So not a break. There's the attendance, and a very respectable one as well. The top tier shut. And has certainly helped with the atmosphere. And that has been excellent. And this has been the fare on offer. Pocock.
Away! Stay there, lads! Let's go.
Burgess is not finding the right distance with his kicks at the moment, you know.
Came off Pelota now, and that was a knock-on.
Forward goal. Scrum down here, white ball.
Don't know whether last 15 minutes there's just been signs of tiredness, perhaps in both teams. Australia's still making the tackles, but there's a few more errors. When they're getting the turnovers, they can't capitalise, and you just fear from an Australian perspective, if they are tiring, that back three could hurt.
He looks a good player too, doesn't he? Dean Mumm.
Yeah, he does. Mumm and McMenamin, they're really good players. They're all very athletic, but they're so powerful with it.
Cooper, after the mistake, the Barbarians in midfield. There's Pocock with those tree trunk legs.
Now let go. Advantage over.
Burgess, Ashley Cooper to Quade Cooper. Can he find a way through?
No release, Barbarians, thank you.
Ball in the Waikato. Move to Australia.
Come away, number 2.
Pretty happy to just go through the phases here, Australia, and kick the ball.
Number 2, come away.
There is the Waikato man, and it doesn't quite work. It was clean through for George Smith, as you say.
First one by White, second one by Gould.
Brian Habana was getting ready for another tackle. This one he was going to have to make on George Smith.
You know, Cooper takes time with the ball and he draws people onto him. Wait. Oh, George Smith. I don't know if he could have gone 50 metres. I don't think he could take a banner on the outside. Really nice play from Cooper. Subtle but good play.
Matt Giteau injured, of course. Beric Barnes having to leave the tour earlier. And Quade Cooper seizing the moment. That's Drew Mitchell.
No release, boys.
And the player to come on in this second half will get through everybody. Are we there yet? Yes, we are. No, is Kimlin on? No, not quite yet. So Peter Kimlin. We await.
Hands away, White. Good. Stand your feet, number 4, come away.
Just closing down the game a fraction at the moment, Australia.
Well, there's an interesting kick as well, and it's worked out perfectly for Adam Ashley Cooper, is nearly away from Gregan, but George Gregan showing all that tenacity of old to make that tackle. And it's a penalty. George Gregan not only got the Barbarians moving again in this match, he's saved them there. What an introduction, and what an end result it might have as the Barbarians try and break out. But lovely pick-up, great skills again from the power man, Pelota now. Rokethoko has a go. Real tit-for-tat stuff, has been since the first whistle.
No attempt there. No attempt.
Joe Rokethoko, though, goes in with the shoulders. Pelota now wins the penalty. Once again, you know, we talked about Cooper. It was a lovely little chip there. Here is some less subtle play. Pelota now, 1-to-1. And there you see the swinging left arm of Rokethoko. I think Australia are just thinking, okay, the Barbarians can come up with a one to try and beat us, fine, but go from 70. Here's a beautiful piece of play from Quade Cooper. Ashley Cooper spinning round, really grown in maturity, the Queensland fly half in this game, I think.
Accurate again from Fryer, who's been to the Tor Barber. And cutting through the Barbarians midfield. Australia again, and they're starting to find some holes there. And there's Fryer again.
That's all right, now release.
Burgess, Cooper tries another chip, comes off Stain, he might pick it up, he might get away here, strong in the handoff, he's looking for support. Williams was trying to get on his shoulder, didn't quite work out, but Berger's there now. Well, he was until Lottie Takiri took his legs. Shane Williams scrambling underneath the body, sets it back. John Smith says, I'll help out, I'm the captain, but we're going backwards here. Little boot on it from Mum. Williams involved again, he's in rewind now. But he gets going forward at last. Gregan. Chance to maybe go from deep. Habana will like that chance. He's looking for it. Takiri's the man making the tackle again. That's gone forward off Pelota now. Once again, no try, but once again, exciting rugby.
And once again, advantage Australia's defence. Ashley Cooper has been magnificent at inside centre. Shane Williams get the ragdoll treatment. You think this time Staines got the interception, Cooper can't get to him, but the Wallabies are going to get back and make their tackle so fast. Over the body there. Lachie Turner are back there, great body position, slows it down. Takiri senses the danger. If Berger gets it away, flies through from behind the gate. Great defence. And once again, Habana just can't get on the outside of Takiri, who's made an impressive comeback after a while out with injury.
And that's what's so impressive about it. He's hit the ground running straight away. Came on after 33 minutes in Cardiff on Saturday. Bravely staggers back to his feet. Just needs to take a few seconds here, as will the medical staff, to make sure everything's okay.
Well, he got injured just throwing himself around, hurling Shane Williams to the floor, up on his feet, trying to win the ball.
Gets sandwiched by his mate.
And then Jerry Collins comes in for a bit of afters. Thanks very much. What a performance. That's going forward. In defence, he's been even more impressive.
Gregan. Stain. Let's get down in the right area of the field is the plan here. Mitchell.
Go, get out of there.
That's gone very high coming out of the Wembley lights. Gregan's there again. Good pass as well. Habana. Referee Chris White trying to get out of the way there. Didn't know which way Habana was going to go.
Hands away, leave it, that's all right.
Referee White has seen enough to award another penalty for hands in that ruck.
Look at this now, Barbarians, no quick taps anymore. They're saying to Francois Stain, smash this ball long. And he's missed touch.
Well, he went for broke. And Turner finds Mitchell. Here's Costa, the uncapped player. Always been the Barbarian tradition. McCaw trying to ship that on to De Villiers. Out to Shane Williams again. Takiri's after him, but he'll have to go some. Williams over the top. Oh, he's going to fall for Williams. Ione was just doing enough to pull him off, and here go the Australians in reply. First Pelota now, now the boot, and we'll have a line out.
How good's Pelota now been as well? Off go the Barbarians. Space for Habana.
Habana to Costa.
You got it. Advantage.
Advantage being played, another penalty offence. Gregan wants to run this one initially, see if it comes to anything. It won't. Takiri will be pulled back.
Got to be a penalty kick at goal here. It's got to be the kick at goal. Francois Stain, he's had an erratic day, has to kick this.
Well, here's a real test of the Barbarian tradition.
Oh, the hell with traditions, you've got to try and win these games.
It's become a test match. Jake White with a wry smile alongside Eddie Jones. No great booing from the crowd either. They're enjoying the contest, and This is what it's boiling down to now. Moments like this. Still 8 minutes to play, though. Plenty of time, even if this does go over. But it could be vital. It's Francois Steyn on this cold Wembley night. And he's wide.
I just had that feeling.
And did you hear the response of the Australian supporters in the crowd? They love that.
It's 0 from 2 points down, fine margins. And do the Barbarians deserve it for their attack, or do Australia deserve it for their organised defence? Beauty of the game, hey? Which way you want to look at it?
So it might have to be a try.
Good.
Although, you never know with Steyn, it could be a late drop goal.
Not so good. Let's have a try if it's going to be won by the Barbarians.
Well, they need to protect the ball if they're going to get a try, and Berger doesn't there. Very unlike Skulk Berger to lose the ball in the tackle. He's furious with himself.
Well, these are very competitive players. Some of the finest players that have played on this planet in the last 10 years or so. Look at that, Backy's Bota with Chris Jack. Shane Williams has caused problems since he's come on. A different sort of problem to Backy's Bota. John de Villiers, who's had not one of his better days today, but could still win a game with a deadly run.
Cooper just switching the angle there. Rokothoko. Again, he's met by 100%
Don't touch it. No, you're...
bristling Australian concentration and muscle.
Stay up, go, stay up. Again, obviously.
Australia are repeatedly now going off their feet. Just wonder if Chris White, even at this late stage, would consider a yellow card.
He's not going to do it. Chris White is not really a yellow card referee, and I just don't feel he'll feel the spirit of this game is such that he shouldn't card. I think if you just keep deliberately infringing, I don't care whether it's Wembley, Twickenham or Kingsholm, yellow card.
12, okay.
He's left it well though, White. I think he's been excellent today.
He really was looking forward to the evening, as we all were.
Smith Costa looks a good player, number 19 in the Barbarians. And Mark Regan.
As Lions take note, not necessarily to mean them in the test matches, but beforehand. Regan taking his time, but not much of it now for the Barbarians. Final 5 minutes as Regan finds Skulk Berger. No dropping of the ball this time. George Gregan's there on hand again to find Habana, and he's going to be swallowed up by Fryer and others if Fryer had missed him. Australia still on their guard. McCaw. Stayed the course, Richie McCaw. It's going back for Francois Steyn. He's looking for a drop goal of his left side, but he was blocked on the right. Well, it was hardly the biggest revelation to hint that was coming.
I'm a big fan of Francois Steyn, but I think, as I said, he has an addiction, and it's an addiction. If you study the success rate to attempts, is pretty poor. If I was his coach, I would say, do not drop the goal again. Not in the next 4 minutes, anyway.
Unless it's all square last minute of the World Cup final.
And you're under the post.
And you're under the post.
Then you drop the goal, yeah. But not from 48 metres.
Regan. Smith.
Still match winners for the Barbarians, aren't they? All over.
Habana. Ollie Smith, traffic's heavy there, and McCaw and Steyn finding it's too heavy. Berger,
superb line.
Again, he's looking at the offload, and he's denied it by Burgess, who was protecting that ball from going out to the Barbarians. And if Australia keep defending like this, they're going to win the match. So close now. Habana breaks the first line, looks for support again, comes from Gregan. Was actually knocked on by Australia. Ollie Smith helps out. Collins, is there enough left in the Barbarian tank to snatch it? Rokothoko to Habana. Pocock's on the wrong side. He's barged in the back for his troubles. But look at Australia again, getting down on the floor, getting the ball. And it's Burgess and it's wide, and there's a chance now to once again feed off the error that they've created. It goes from Mitchell to Turner. It is a brilliant try.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely brilliant from Australia. Reminiscent of the first half score. They've done it again. They deserve the match. They deserve the gold medal.
That is absolutely magnificent from the Wallabies. Wonderful counter-attacking. The running lines were so good. England have been talking about their failure to take opportunities. Australia, they haven't had that many tonight. When they've had them, they have taken them like rattlesnakes. They have been deadly. Absolute superb lines from the Wallabies. And again, Lottie Takiri started the ball rolling with a great score himself. Power-packed defence in the 78th minute. And then the turnover. Look at the Australians hitting the contact with aggression. The missed ball is superb. Drew Mitchell, watch this, in, fix him. Steyn is left for dead there. Turner scores. That is gorgeous from Australia. Wonderful. Mitchell's line there, Miles. I'd go a long way to watch this. Watch him pull his man in. Stein has to stay there, in and out. That's absolutely brilliant from Mitchell.
So intelligent, superb execution of what they wanted to do, always in control. And while all that has been happening, they've completed the set. Peter Kimlin has come on, first time in Wallaby colours at this level. No cap given tonight. Well, that just keeps the game alive because the conversion goes wide. It keeps it alive as a contest, and it's certainly been that. Can the Barbarians level it at 18 apiece?
Just before kick-off, let's do man of the match. Great defensive work from the Wallabies, inspirational leadership. George Smith is my man of the match. Magnificent work from the captain.
Knocked on at the end by him.
Miles, we've had Berger and McCaw on the pitch. We had the three best open sides in the world. I still think McCaw's number one, but tonight has belonged to George Smith in the battle of the back row. Those statistics tell you about a brilliant individual, but as a leader and as an inspiration, they don't even start to get there. Wonderful.
Right, stretch balls engaged.
Plenty of candidates, but had to be Smith. Had to be Smith.
Hold.
Give Ashley Cooper an honourable mention as well. He's been brilliant at 12 with defence and attack.
Quade Cooper's kick went out. The Barbarians took it quickly in the final minute. Shane Williams is going to get driven off this. It's another example of where Australia are at mentally in this game. Right to the last few seconds. Digby Ione, pressure on. Skulk Berger, another mistake. Australia's match now.
I watch Australia hit the contact, and I know the Barbarians are not a test team, but I think apart from Wales, our Northern Hemisphere teams look and learn and look about finishing. This line, he steps his man there, it looks easy, but that's because the lines are beautiful from Drew Mitchell. But in the contact, even in the 80th minute, the Wallabies have just hit so hard, they've driven from low to up. It's been a real lesson. Only Wales lived with the Tri-Nations. England, Scotland and Ireland should watch this.
Burgess, Cooper to Ashley Cooper and then to Keary. They want to finish with a flourish here, Australia, and you wouldn't bet against it. Final play of the match, and rather appropriately, it's Australia on the attack in that final play. They don't just want to close it out, they want to keep on going, Barbarian style.
Hands away, boys.
Might come a point where if they're driven back, they will get the ball off the field. But at the moment, they're content to play and look for an extra score.
Come back.
Burgess short.
Hang on, boys. Hang on.
Cooper's gone back for the drop goal to close it out. Oh, it's charged down. McCaw gets it wide. Rokethoko. Well, Barbarians have the players to turn something into nothing even at this stage. Can they do it? Gregan, Stein, Smith, Costa. Gregan again. Along the line it goes to Habana. Be 2 tries apiece if they score here, the Barbarians, so that will be level on tries if they get the conversion, so it'll be shared, no drop goals, but they've got to score it first. Off Collins, they're not going to score it, and that's it. And what a thrilling and excellent way for Australia to finish their first international season under Robbie Deans. Deans determined to grow the pool of players. Well, he's certainly done that. He'll be so proud of his side, along with Jim Williams and Michael Foley, the other coaches. So proud of the squad, the way they came to this match, their final match in a long year, and provided a performance such as that.
Well, South Africa and New Zealand came away with a clean sweep in the Northern Hemisphere. Australia bitterly disappointed in Cardiff, but when you look at the number of young players playing and what they were against, the likes of McCaw, Rokethoko, Burgers, De Villiers, this has been a really big step up there. George Smith led his side brilliantly. They fell a little bit in Cardiff. I think they've risen a long way today. And as you say, Robbie Deans will now go away from this tour. It started with a defeat in Hong Kong. It's ended with a win in Wembley. And think on the balance of play, yep, the Wallabies are on the march. Players like young James O'Connor have taken a big step today. Australian rugby, never weak, is starting to look stronger yet again.